Welcome back. George Essen joins us now. It's always good to have him with us. George, it's good to have you with us today.
Great to be here. Guilty conscience is catching up.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the Powerlifting Championship. It's all good for Nigeria. George, let's get your thoughts. I mean, we could always sit back and we know we always do well. But this one, clean sweep. Nobody's hands touch any gold medal. It's just Nigeria.
20 over 20. I saw the headline. It's no surprise. No surprise at all. And I'm not sure the other countries will protest that.
I don't think so.
You know, because our special athletes always do it. They do it internationally when they go
in a special way.
And then this time they're in their comfort zone at home. So it's RFA Shetan is doing a great job, and I hope that these athletes are inspired to do more. Winning is in their culture, surely. So it wasn't a surprise at all.
Do you have any fears? I've asked a lot of people this. Do you have any fears? Because you look at all our areas of strength, people tend to catch up with us. Athletics, maybe even football, in areas we used to be very, very dominant. Is there any fear that when it comes to all of these para sports, that if we're not careful, we're going to have people start challenging us and pushing us, and maybe the dominance too?
That's true. Cote d'Ivoire got some silver medals and all that. If we do not...
They got 3 bronze medals.
3 bronze medals. And then the other countries...
Cameroon got 3, Ghana got 2 bronze medals. So Nigeria had a clean sweep of 15 silver.
When all the names that we have now start, fizzling out and age, we need to make sure that we encourage this people living with disabilities so that they can get into sports. Thank God we don't have what we used to see before at the National Stadium, where they're outside hawking recharge card and all that. They're all engaged now, and then we should do more to make sure that more of them, are groomed, especially the younger ones. Just like the Super Falcons, we can't stay dominant forever. People always come close, countries. And look at South Africa. Why wasn't the Nigerian there winning, the best player? But the South African did. So that tells us a lot, really. We need to sustain the momentum.
All right. But I love what they did in this championship, just knowing that we have some new names coming in. Those are the National Sport Festival. Mentioned some names. That's right. Esther, Loveth, all of them were at National Sport Festival, and they were making their debut in international competition for the very first time. This is what it's looking like.
For the avoidance of doubt.
Just take a look at this.
For the avoidance of doubt.
Gold and silver.
They took all the silver medals as well.
Precisely. All the other teams had to okay, let's have a share of what the bronze is all about. It's just the new names that came up.
This isn't fair though.
I mean, it's the names that came up, but I actually love about this one, just knowing that some of these athletes, being able to have that progression in case, the likes of Lovely BG are going out, that yes, there's a certain Esther that is coming, to actually, take over. We'll be talking to the president of the federation this morning, talking about Queen Ubo. She'll be talking to us what they did differently, because we spoke to some of the coaches who were talking about the fact that, look, they don't even go on break. Whether they are in competition or not, they keep training. That's what gave them that opportunity. For the president, good morning. It's good to have you this morning. What do you think makes Team Nigeria really, really excel in this championship?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Team Nigeria, had a clean sweep in this championship. 20 over 20, that's how we target. What did you guys do differently this time around?
Well, I would say, first, I want to thank Nigeria. I want to thank God for making this possible. Second, I want to say that it's all about hard work. It's all about training non-stop. One of the things we did different this time was to be able, if you know, January 1st was New Year Day. Second was Resting Day. And January 3rd, they were all in camp. We made sure we made it possible for them to be in camp from January 3rd. The reason why we had to do that because of our new athletes. We were worried. We wanted our new athletes to make sure they follow the footsteps of the old athletes. So we made sure they all got into camp on January 3rd, and they left camp on January 26th. Even while they were in camp, the crew was already on ground in the rental hotel. They were still in camp training because the coach made me understand that the gym that they train in the camp, they have a special thing there that if without that gym, they cannot train properly. That was why we did not bring them into Oriental Hotel on 24th when the visitors came. We made sure they remained in camp while they were doing their capacity building and courses. They were coming from there because they were still training.
Okay, now you talked about the facilities that they have at the Oriental Hotel and all that. They didn't have opportunity to have that, you know, when they started their initial training. Is there a possibility that they can have this anytime they really want to train?
The facility they have in the Oriental Hotel was built in the first. Oriental Hotel doesn't have the kind of facility, the equipment that Paraparis. Everything was sweet in from abroad. Everything was sweet in from Sweden. The only makers of Eleco, the only makers of para equipment, or rather the best makers of para equipment. So now that they are done with all this equipment will be back to what I'm intending doing is to speak to the ministry, to speak to the federal government. Now that we have quite almost the same equipment in Lagos, we're thinking about taking some of this equipment to Abuja, our stadium in Abuja, and also maybe the 6 geopolitical zone that we have a lot of power lifters from, like in the southeast. Maybe we'll take some of them then to one of the states in the southeast. So I think the equipment they had here for this competition is something similar to what we had in the gym that was bought for us by one of our sponsors. But the issue is that we didn't have enough to hold this kind of competition. That was why we had to buy more. Now everything we had in the gym in Lagos, we had to buy six of each. And then one of the sponsors actually bought us one set of equipment also.
Okay, now for the athletes, you know, while we were watching the championship, we actually saw some people living with disability actually coming in to watch. And now you actually mentioned that the reason why you did that is because you want to see how you can expand, you know, Team Nigeria, not just competing in 2 events only in powerlifting, but they can also have other events they can compete in. How are you going to achieve this?
Okay, my focus, or what I say rather, my idea when I was bidding for this, when you check, you know that 95%, if not all, beggars on the street are disabled. And one thing I try to see, begging is one of the lowest things you can do with your life. And because I know that they believe that that is the only option, that is why they stoop solo to do that. When I started my sponsorship drive, I made my sponsors realize that I don't just want you to sponsor my athletes for this competition. I also want you to sponsor those disabled, those beggars on the street to come and see this. By then seeing it, I know that at the end of the competition, 55% of the beggars on the street will come into park sports, which even when they came, they were already approaching me.
All right.
Some of them with one hand. I said, okay, you have only one hand. Because you have one hand, powerlifting is not your own sport. But we have other sports that you can go into. We have almost 9 different federations of para-athletic, athletic football, swimming, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair volleyball, and athletics. So my main focus was not just to recruit these people, these beggars on the street or these disabled, to come into powerlifting, but to recruit them and change their, first of all, psychologically change their mindset. Change their mindset to make them understand that there are other things you can do apart from begging. That is why I encourage my sponsors to do that. Then coming wasn't sponsored by me. I had about 3 major sponsors that brought them, that made sure it was possible. They were being picked from the stadium with our branded bus every morning. They bring them here, they feed them, they watch the game, they wear the spectator shirt, they go back without paying for anything. And they had a free ticket to come in to watch.
All right, before we let you go, let me quickly ask you this, ma'am. I mean, you discovered some talents, and let's just ask you, what are the plans for 2019 to ensure that these talents are groomed and nurtured to stardom, like the names that we're used to?
Well, the first thing I tell them, yes, is the first thing I tell them is that I know I visited them about 5 different occasions while they were in training, and I spoke to them, the new ones, and I allowed the old ones to speak to them, telling them that, yes, getting a gold medal is one thing, but getting a medal with stain is one thing we don't tolerate. And make sure that the medals they were getting, all of them were the right medal with no stain. And second of all, how do we sustain this? How do we make them keep training? Like I said, all this equipment we have almost 7 times the equipment we used to have. That is one of the benefits that the Federation gained from this. The equipment, we've never had such equipment in there, and I don't think any parasport has as much equipment as we have now. We make sure that what we are trying to do is to look at the zone, the geopolitical zone that these people come from, look at the ones that come from the large amount that comes from that zone, and send an equipment there to the gym, to the sport ministry in that state, so they will continue not only just sending it is one thing, making sure it gets there, and making sure they are using it, they are not keeping it, is another thing. So after deploying this equipment down to their state, I will take a trip to the state and make sure that they are being used and they are not being kept by the commissioners of sport or whatever. I want to make sure these people will be training at least 3 times every week. Because one thing about powerlifting, when you stop training one day, it's like you stop for 6 months.
All right, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best. We'll be speaking with the president of the Nigeria Powerlifting Federation, and a lot has been said. I guess we just leave it at that and move on. Let's quickly talk about football on the domestic scene. Let's give you our results from rescheduled match day 1 and in Group A and in Group B. Of course, that is a match to be played today. But let's take a look at the results first. George, let's start with Group A. Take a look at the results. Some say Bendel Insurance are losing their first game. But anyway, Wikitoris.
That's the truth. Come on, why are you laughing?
Okay. My lips are sealed.
Unbeaten
George, take a look at the results. Your thoughts, basically.
1-0 all through.
Well, 1-0 results all through.
All true.
What a day. It shows how tough the NPFL is. In fact, the NPFL is the best league in the world.
Okay. I agree. Totally agree.
But it was dramatic. I monitored the Rivers Remo game. It was like Kennedy Baboya at some point was
almost going away with it.
Yeah, he was almost going away with it. I felt he was, he didn't do a lot to hold off, what Rivers had with them, but it was a stoppage time goal.
Wasiu
Jimo, great goal indeed. And that's all Rivers United needed to just shoot themselves to the top of the table. And they top Group A, which is great. It shows hard work, it shows resilience as well, and very dogged play. But Remo gave it a good fight, no doubt, to hold them for that long. But they just broke at the end.
Yeah, and Aqua United are still bottom, right?
I'm going to leave Aqua now, man.
I was waiting for you to come. I was going to ask you.
We're talking rescheduled games now. Did Aqua play yesterday?
They didn't, but we're talking about MPFL, right? Don't we have a right to actually ask you? I mean, you're in it. You're close to the team. You know what's going on. Is there, let me actually ask a question. If it's the right time to actually, press the panic button and all that, knowing that it's a bridge and it's Group A and B, so you don't have the luxury of 38 games and all that.
It's 22 games, panicking? 5 games played. Mathematically, you'd say Aqua United have no worries. They still have 17 games.
They're yet to win a game.
But
they have to after 4 matches.
The only team in the league with 2 points. With all the hype, with the signing of Everton. Almost the players a total overhaul of the team.
The best players across the NPFL were gathered together.
Yeah, maybe that was even the problem.
Okay, too many superstars.
Yeah, too many superstars. Yet to blend is what we always hear. But hey, you should have known this before you started overhauling a team like that. And I just heard that, you know, Elder Paul Bassi has read the riot act on the coach and players.
Needed.
That certainly, there's massive investment put into this team.
We have to
you guys need to sit up. So, realistically, you know, if you ask a pundit now, they'll tell you, they'll list Akwa United as one of the teams that will be relegated. You just mentioned it's an abridged league. But mathematically speaking, and it has to go down to the coach, down to the players right now. That blending, there's no time for blending again. You need to blend now.
Yeah, just start getting the results.
It's a very sad situation, no doubt.
Okay. All right, let's go to Group B quickly. There's a game in Group B. Yesterday, Yobe, there's the Stars defeated Gombe United 1-0. And today, go round, we'll take on Kada City. A lot of good things have been said about go round, and it looks like they're punching above their weight. We also talked about them yesterday. I still do think that it's early days yet, but the signs are there. The teams that will likely, you know, go into that, you know, vying for the title, and the teams that will probably be in trouble at the end of the day.
Yeah, go round 7 points so far in their games.
And they're
on the table.
And they have a chance to go up today with a win.
Definitely.
And they're home since.
It's just surprising what's going on though. Well, the only thing that's not surprising is like Rivers, but the new teams are actually, you know, putting up a good fight. Go round, of course, have been dogged. Let's see what they do against Kada Stars today. They're just 1 point. They're just above Yobe Desert Stars, I think. You know, so it's been a great fight so far, but disappointments, of course, for the teams that are.
This is what you talked about, Rivers Angels. Right. Rivers United.
This is Group A.
Yes, Rivers United, Rangers,
That's
MFM,
right.
Wiki Tourists, and Remo Stars.
No surprises up there, though. I think, yeah, no surprises. Please don't show me Group B.
I think they'll have to show Group B.
We have to.
You have to, like, I mean.
Aqua United.
They're not so lonely down
Surprise,
there.
surprise. But you trust Aqua United to get up, even though it's going to be hard to put them in that playoff situation, but I don't know.
They are 9 points behind the leaders, so it takes them to just keep winning.
Yeah, just keep winning.
Keep winning and also hoping the team.
All right.
Teams are losing.
All right.
So now talk about the Flying Eagles now, right?
Let's quickly talk about the Flying Eagles. 2017 was nightmarish for us.
That's right.
All our age group,
across
board. All our age group teams didn't qualify, but now the Flying Eagles go to the Republic of Niger, and they have a chance to. Coach Paul, like Cecilia said earlier, has been saying, look, the main objective is to is just to pick the ticket. And I think that's the most important thing.
Why shouldn't they pick the ticket? They should. I mean...
Okay. They did pick it the last time.
Yeah, well, it was a tsunami. It was across board now.
Did they qualify for the African Championship
at all? Go that far.
They didn't, no.
They didn't even qualify for that.
They didn't go that far.
I mean, they didn't go that far. But this time around, I mean, getting into it is a huge step. And just knowing that Kenneth Rowe has been there watching the players, and he's been saying that, look, he's going to get some players into the Super Eagles squad and all that. So that might just be that extra motivation.
Yeah, and the expectations. Now Paul Agbogun is focused. He's just focused on the national team.
Anymore.
No distraction. So this is what we're going to see to test if really he's a national team material. But I don't think there's any reason why the Flying Eagles shouldn't, you know, pick that ticket. What happened?
Should anybody trouble us in that group? Niger, Burundi, South Africa?
I'm looking at Niger.
Or South Africa.
Or South Africa.
Have been good. They've been playing friendlies.
South Africa.
I mean,
no, we don't say
the host is always tricky.
Yeah, the host is tricky. You know, I think was it DJ that stopped us? Okay, they stopped you on the 17th. You know, so it could be tricky as well. But hey, it's neighboring Niger. You don't need to go that far. And I just want to be positive. I think they have some, you know, nice, decent players.
How crucial is that first game on Saturday? How crucial?
Very crucial. We have to hit the ground running. I mean, there's nothing more crucial than, you know, winning your first game. But knowing Nigeria, sometimes you might just drop in the first game. But hey, it's going to be very risky. It's an 8-nation tournament, so there's not much to play, not many matches to play. So you need to hit the ground running. Some decent players. One of them, Asuko, who was supposed to be the Akwa United, is there. Great player any day.
Okay.
We're wishing them all the best.
Okay. All right, let's go on a break. And when we return, we take a look at the papers as we prepare to wrap things up on Sports this morning.